When it comes to Microsoft and the internet, there are a few success stories to speak of. One that's actually on the rise is Microsoft's new search engine called Bing. Bing came out a couple months back, and when it was released, most tech journalists kind of wrote it off as another failed attempt at Microsoft to catch Google. But surprisingly, it's actually grown at a modest 1% in the last month. But regardless, it's still growth, which still bucks expectations of most technology journalists. What do people think of the service now? We bring in Christina Warren from Download Squad. Christina, thanks for being with us.
Hi, glad to be here.
Also, we bring in Jason Heiner from Tech Republic. Jason, thanks for being with us as well.
Thanks, Randall.
So before the show, we were joking that we can't stop saying Bing, Bing, just ridiculously amounts of time. Christina, what's your take on the service? Has it surprised you? Have you used it? Has it replaced Google for you at all?
It hasn't replaced Google for me. I have used it, and I think it's pretty good, especially for more specialized searches. I think that its shopping comparison feature is significantly better than Google Shopping. I like the looking for flights and looking for mapping information. I think that's very good. And I have to say, I think the marketing campaign is one of Microsoft's few true moments of brilliance in the advertisement space, because the commercials are brilliant.
I feel like they've been hitting marketing a little bit better this year. They've had the Windows laptop hunters ads. Marketing for Bing has actually gone pretty well. Jason, what's your impressions of Bing so far? We've had a couple months to play with it, and we've had countless people talking about it. Are you going to switch from Google?
Well, I definitely use Bing a little bit. Not really switching from Google, but they have closed the gap. I mean, I kind of have to start this with one disclaimer, in that I do think Microsoft's wasting a ton of money on this, and with not a whole lot of return on the investment. They've got enough problems with their core businesses in software, with Windows, Office, and their server software right now, and they really should be focusing on that. But that said, I think that the whole deal when you're sort of a underdog in a market like this is innovating. Can you do something different? Can you solve a problem nobody else has, or innovate in some way? And I'd say there are a couple ways. As Christina mentioned, I think the shopping search is better than Google, so they've done a little bit there. Video search, I think, is better. They have some video previews, some thumbnails, and that I think that's a little bit better. My favorite thing, though, is there's this little search engine that's been around for a long time called Clusty, Clusty.com,
okay.
Clusty.
Okay.
And Clusty has this little list on the side, on the left side when you search, and it sort of breaks down your search into different clusters of stuff. And Bing has kind of adopted this. They didn't buy Clusty or partner with them that I know of, but they have the same effect. So if you search for something, like I have a search up right now called for Microsoft SharePoint, you see all these things, related searches on the left side that kind of cluster together search results. I like that. That actually helps you drill down into more specific stuff quicker, and so I think that is a benefit.
I feel like the root thing, though, we mentioned all these little added features on top, but when it comes right down to it, when you go to a search box, what you want to do is find the result you're looking for. You don't want to have to go to Maps and look for a map, or head to this video thing and find a video, or even drill down on a cluster. I mean, those are all nice to have things, but when it comes right down to it, I don't think people are switching, because I feel like people know what they'll get from Google, and more importantly, they usually get what they want. I don't know, Christine, is that your take?
It is and it isn't. I think that especially if they can start to integrate searching from the main menu to show you results from the different categories more easily, I think that by segmenting out some of the different search categories, like shopping, like maps, like video, in a way, if they could do it better than Google can, then I honestly do think that some people would switch. Because, for instance, like the shopping comparison and whatnot is so much better than Google's, that even though I use Google for almost everything, I will go out of my way to go to Bing to do their shopping comparison, because it's better than Price Grabber in a lot of regards, because you get the list of things, plus you could, if you do the Bing cashback or whatever, you can get things from that.
Yeah.
I think they do have opportunities if they can actually make it clear what segments of search they do better, and make it easier to access those segments instead of having to click on like a specific
brand or whatever, as it were.
Right.
So you're saying less generalized search and more of these specific searches that they can do better. Jason, is that the direction they need to go? Or you mentioned that this is a very big distraction for them from their core business. Do you still think that the time, the money, it's a $100 million ad campaign, which is more than enough to buy some small startup somewhere, maybe Clusty. But do you think that they're kind of going down the right path in these segmented markets that still aren't that core search result?
Yeah, I think it's exactly right. They have to find some niches they're good at. Video is one for me. And in terms of actually how much this is worth, I will say Jason Calacanis, who's the CEO of Mahalo, a little human-powered search engine, they call it, he says that every percentage of search is worth $1 billion. So there is some money that they're chasing here, and that is actually worth something. Although Yahoo apparently is going to be doing most of the monetization for Bing. They just signed the new deal with Yahoo. So there is something there, but they've got to innovate. They have to find some niches that they're good at. I think they're finding a few angles. We've talked about.
Yeah. They're making
video,
progress at bare minimum.
Yeah, and they're doing something, so that's good. They are trying to innovate. They're not just trying to copy, and that's the best thing they've got going for them. But they're going to have to push even harder because Google's not going to stand still either.
Definitely. Well, guys, we're out of time, so we're going to have to leave it there. Side note, Jason Calacanis' 1 billion 1% thing. I love that because it's Jason and he's hilarious. Really not sure how true that is, but anyway, that's my little side note. Christina Warren from Download Squad, thanks for being with us. Also, Jason Heiner, who does Tech Republic. He's the editor-in-chief there. Do you have a different title? I don't even know. You're such a big deal at Tech Republic, let's be honest. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I see.
So you can check out techrepublic.com for all of that stuff. I'm Randall Bennett. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us in iTunes. We're on YouTube. We're in Zune Marketplace for you Bing users who want to find us that way. Whatever you want to do, we're there. So we'll see you later.